Good afternoon, everyone. Meteorologist Andrew Wilson here with an update to the forecast. Typically, we like to do these updates on Mondays and Thursdays, but this week we have shifted our Thursday update here to Friday just so everybody can stay informed. We did have some breaking news happening yesterday, so we had to push it off for one day, but we still want to talk to you about what you can expect as far as this weekend is concerned. So let's talk a little bit about what we can expect for today. We had a little bit of shower activity out there earlier on this morning, but now it's looking like there's some drier conditions out there, not dealing with as much in the way of rainfall, but a few spotty showers could still be possible here over the next couple of hours. Let's go right into what we dealt with this morning, showing the time lapse from earlier on today. You see how gloomy it was. We had a lot of cloud cover out there. We even had some shower activity. You'll see that pop up on the lens here in a moment. You see the raindrops showing up there on the lens that we have looking towards Midtown and downtown here from the 11 Alive studios here in Atlanta. And then we started to see a little bit of sunshine start to peek through here, some of those clouds, a little bit of blue sky here and there. And we're going to continue to see a little bit more as we head throughout this afternoon. Again, we may still have a spotty shower. Don't be surprised by that, but we are going to start to see a little bit more of that sunshine breaking through as we head throughout the afternoon hours here. Looking towards the King and Queen buildings on the north end of the perimeter, I-285 and Georgia 400. Seeing just a few peaks of blue sky there. You see it down towards Newton as well as we look towards the square. A lot of sunshine down on the square today. Looking beautiful there. Downtown looking nice, and then looking also nice out towards the airport. No delays out there. You see a few aircraft taxiing on the runways. Temperatures, they're pretty warm today compared to what we've been dealing with. Remember, we've had those temperatures only hitting the 60s for highs some days. We are at 75 right now in Atlanta as of about 2:32 in the afternoon on Friday. Nice to see those warmer conditions. Now, you may be watching this at a later date. You may be saying, well, I'm ready for the forecast. We're going to be talking about it here in just a moment. Don't worry. Some people may be watching this update live. So we also like to talk about what we're dealing with right now outside and what we've been dealing with, like over this past week. Right now, you're looking at a temperature map that shows us our average high, which is shaded in red right there, that little red line. That blue line tells us what our average low is. And then all these temperatures in between, that's each day as we've made our way throughout the past 30 days here. You see our lows and on these bottom temperatures, our highs each day on the top temperatures. And you can see that we have been trending below average here for our afternoon highs and below average for our morning lows each day. We hit 62 over the past 2 days, but today that's all going to change and those temperatures are going to be right back to being above average. That may mean that we get a little bit more pollen in the air for tomorrow, but for today at least, the pollen is really low. We are at a 9 count for today. That is not a typo. That is the lowest pollen count that we have had since February, and it's the first time that we've had back-to-back numbers that have been below high since back in February as well, below high or extremely high. Notice that we've had a lot of that this month. We had the latest 3,000 plus count on record back on April 20th. And by the way, back on March 7th, that was also the earliest 3,000 plus count. So it was a prolonged allergy season here across North Georgia, but we're starting to see some improvement. Again, the last time that we had a count that was all the way up there or all the way down there in the low category was back on February 1st. So it's been a while. Nice to see some lower counts there for the pollen for all those allergy sufferers. Now, of course, the temperatures being cooler, that's helped, but also the fact that we've had a little bit of rainfall has helped too. We've had a pretty good amount of rain the last couple of days, and you can see as we look out towards the radar, not seeing any rain right now. Maybe a spotty shower or two, though, could be possible for the rest of today. And actually, I do want to zoom in kind of closer on up here towards the Gainesville area. It looks like we do have a spotty shower that has popped up closer on towards Homer. That's going to continue its way off towards the north and east, though, away from Atlanta. A wider look across the southeast shows some of those showers that are impacting Tennessee. Over towards Alabama, they have some showers, and then looking over into portions of Texas, stretching from Dallas down towards the Waco area, they have some strong to severe storms that they're dealing with that are just now starting to pop up for areas closer on towards Abilene and St. Angelo. Now, we don't expect anything in the way of strong to severe storms here in North Georgia, but don't forget to download that 11 Alive app because it can keep you updated on the forecast whenever you're on the go. Whenever we do have showers on the radar, you can take a live look at it. You can get alerts to your phone whenever there are strong to severe storms in our region. You can watch live on your phone updates just like the one you're seeing now, or our newscast, which can be really helpful if we ever have power outages from any of those storms. Let's say your TV goes out. Well, as long as you still have cell reception, you can watch those newscasts and weather updates right there from your phone. Make sure you download it from your app store there for your phone. And also make sure you download our Roku and Fire TV apps, the 11 Alive Plus app. We like to put extra news information, those stories that you're trying to get more information on. Well, we like to do long form coverage because whenever we're on TV, we only have a short amount of time where we can share these stories with you. But there's that extra coverage that you can get from those stories right from your Roku and Fire TV. Make sure you download the 11 Alive Plus apps. You'll find a lot of information, not just on news, but weather updates, like the one you're watching right now. You can get that right there at your fingertips. So the 11 Alive app does show that the temperatures rise into the upper 70s today, lower 80s for some. A nice warm day out there. If you hit the daily tab, you'll notice that we do have some rain chances on Sunday. You're about to see that pan out here in our forecast track. We head into tonight after we get some sunshine today, and we are going to be mostly clear to start off the day on Saturday. Temperatures dropping down into the 50s when you're waking up tomorrow morning. Moving into the afternoon, temperatures rise into the upper 70s, lower 80s. We are going to have a little bit of cloud cover increase as we head throughout the day there Saturday afternoon, so don't be surprised by that, but it's still going to be a beautiful day. Get out there tomorrow morning, by the way, when it's a little bit cooler. Go check out some of those great farmers markets around town. I know a lot of them are starting to get going again, and it is going to be great weather for it, so get out there and enjoy the nice weather in the morning. The afternoon's also going to be nice, but we head into Saturday evening. This is going to be when rain chances start to make a little bit of a return. Notice a few spotty showers and storms out there moving in by the time we get to 8:30 p.m. That's going to increase overnight. If you have Saturday night plans, I know we've got a lot going on this weekend here in Atlanta. Make sure that you have an umbrella with you. Either that or a rain jacket, because we are going to be dealing with some rain there overnight Saturday. And if you're in downtown Atlanta, maybe you're headed out for the Janet Jackson concert, maybe you're heading out for the Taylor Swift concert, maybe you're just trying to get out on the town for the night. You're going to encounter some showers. Make sure that you have that umbrella or rain jacket with you. Getting to 2:30 a.m., still a few spotty showers out there. The good news is, though, for those who are trying to be out on Saturday night, the heaviest of the rainfall isn't going to arrive until we get to Sunday morning. This is 6:30 a.m. So those who are maybe headed out to church in the morning on Sunday, make sure you have the umbrella and be ready for some of that heavier rainfall. Unfortunately, that's when the heaviest of the rain is going to be moving through. That'll continue all the way through 10 a.m. A few showers out there still all the way throughout the day, pretty much on Sunday until we get to the end of the day, the latter part of the afternoon, that is, and into the early part of the evening. That's going to be when the shower activity really moves out, and temperatures, they're going to be into the 70s for highs. And unfortunately, our temperatures, unfortunately for those who don't like the cooler weather, the temperatures are going to slip a little bit again. We're going to fall down to the 40s for lows there waking up on Monday. Some spots may only rise into the 60s for highs for Monday afternoon. So we only have a slight chance for rain in on Saturday. Remember, that's late in the day. We're talking pretty much right at sunset, and then overnight is going to be really when those rain chances start to ramp up. And then Sunday, that's when we get the 70% chance for showers and storms, going to be widespread mainly for the morning. The afternoon, things will start to calm down. And look at that, Monday through Wednesday, we stay dry. Those rain chances get on out of here, and we are going to have some drier conditions and also a little bit of a cool down to start off the early part of next week. Now, as far as the amount of rain we've had for the last month, we are doing all right. We're just a little bit below normal for the month. Right now, you're looking at a graph that kind of shows each day how much rain we received each day here at the top. And you can see that we are trending now just below normal for this time of year. So we need a little bit more rain for the month, but we're not hurting for each time of the month, but we're not hurting for the year, but we are hurting a little bit for the month, 18 inches of rainfall is what we have so far for this year. You see that we should just have 17.25 inches of rainfall, a little bit over that. So yeah, we're ahead. So all the rain that we get over the next 48 hours here and really through Sunday is what I'm saying, we are going to get a surplus. We're going to add on to that surplus of rainfall that we have for the year. So no drought here in North Georgia, and I want to actually bounce this back and I want to show you what's going on in South Georgia. They do still have a little bit of drought down there closer on towards southern Georgia, where they have abnormally dry conditions. Down towards Brunswick, they even have moderate drought. So they could still use some rainfall, and they're going to get some of that this week, just like what we're going to get here in North Georgia. A majority of this rain is going to be falling on Sunday. Notice that we're going to get anywhere from 1/2 inch to maybe even up to 1.5 inches of rainfall. A majority of that is going to be falling Sunday and mainly for areas northwest of the metro. That's going to be where the heaviest of the rainfall occurs, like what we saw on Forecast Track just a moment ago. Again, that rainfall moves through Sunday, and look at the temperatures taking a bit of a tumble. We're going to have 72 for the high on Sunday, 68 on Monday, well below our average of 77 for this time of year, 71 for Tuesday, but we have those temperatures really rebounding as we head throughout next week. So we've had a lot of cool trends here as we've made our way throughout the last couple of weeks in North Georgia. One of the big players behind that is the jet stream. Right now we have a big trough over the western portion of the over the Pacific Northwest, Over the western portion of the United States, we have a little bit of a ridge, and think of that as warmer air that I'm drawing at right there. So warmer air over Utah, Arizona, New Mexico. And then you look at the eastern portion of the United States and you see this big circle right here. That's going to be a core of cooler air that's kind of made its way down over the eastern half of the United States. And as we head throughout the week ahead, you're going to notice that it's going to start to shift a little bit further off towards the east. And then eventually we are going to end up with some warmer conditions with that ridge, that little hill over the our region that's going to allow us to warm up a little bit. So think of that as a ridge of warm air. That's what we're expected as we make our way throughout next week, which also means drier conditions. So those who like drier weather, we're going to get some of that. And that shows up in the 7-day forecast. Look at the temperatures there from Monday through Thursday, climbing as we head throughout the week. It's also going to be a lot of sunshine, so drier, and like I said, warming up after we deal with some cooler conditions there to start off the work week and to end the weekend as well. There you see Sunday, that higher chance for rainfall, the 70% chance. Doesn't rain all day, mainly for the morning. The very end of the day, those showers will start to move on out of here. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, right now, 10s on the whizometer. As we get closer, though, to the middle of next week, we may be bumping those up to an 11. Once we get a little more confidence in the forecast, as you get closer to the day of the week, you always build a little more confidence in that forecast. So as we get closer there, don't be surprised if we bump those up to 11s. Looking at your 8 to 14 day outlook, now we're looking beyond the 7-day forecast. So I want to give you an idea of what we're going to be dealing with from the early to the middle portion of May. It's looking like we're going to be having some below average temperatures there across much of the eastern half of the United States. So those who have liked the cooler weather where we've had temperatures in the upper 60s some days, lower to mid 70s. It looks like that trend's going to continue as we head throughout the early to middle portion of May. And then below average rainfall. And honestly, we're not hurting for rain. We're ahead of average. So having some below average rainfall for the early to middle portion of May, maybe that'll start to spring up a few more of those May flowers. Looking like a good forecast, though, not just, again, for next week, but for the next 2 weeks, for those who want a little bit of drier conditions. Your weekend getaways. Now, unfortunately, again, we have the rain chances on Sunday. You notice that it's not just going to be impacting us. Those showers and storms are going to be impacting Destin down towards the Emerald Coast of Florida there on Saturday. And then we move into Sunday. You see it's not just us, but a lot of people around us, Savannah, Charleston, Gatlinburg, Lake Lanier, all dealing with some rain chances there. And then the temperatures taking a bit of a tumble again as we head into Monday, with much of the region dropping down to the 60s and 70s for highs as we kick off Monday. But notice it's dry. So maybe if you're headed on a weekend getaway this weekend, maybe try to plan for that extra day off on Monday. Call into work and say, hey, I decided I'm going to take an extra day on my vacation just because it's looking like nice weather there and dry for Monday. Your Peach State outlook, if you're traveling across the state here for this weekend, maybe going to visit some family. Looking like we are going to, again, be dealing with some showers there on Saturday for our neighbors down to the southwest in Columbus. As we head into Sunday, the rest of us really start to pick up on the rain chances, especially across here in North Georgia, going to be dealing with some heavier rainfall. And then as we head throughout the Georgia State Park forecast, looking pretty good there with nice hikes for our Saturday. We'll continue to do these updates every Monday and Thursday.